After 4 painstakingly crafted offerings under the 2K Games banner, WWE video games have been nothing short of promise, failing to meet reality, with ideas and ambitions suffering from an engine that has been outdated for at least 2 gaming generations, and a yearly development window, modifying the gameplay style, upping the graphics, and even creating a new mode focusing on the journey of a created WWE superstar hoping to become the world champion helped each recent entry in the WWE 2K library to be entertaining for a short while. But numerous bugs and poor planning have hurt the franchise from maintaining the high standard of quality the series once had. In an effort to make good on the promises laid out game after game, 2K declared this entry would be the most fun WWE 2K experience yet. Understanding that grandiose marketing is a necessity to promote an upcoming game, especially during such a busy release season, I took the developers' words as a grain of salt when picking up the game for another potentially fun, yet problematic time. As per the norm, WWE 2K19 provides a lengthy trophy and achievement list, demanding the player take part in all the modes including its online offerings, and testing out some of the new features and roster additions associated with this release. One of the most exciting additions to 2K19 is the returning 2K Showcase, featuring an abridged look at the WWE career of Daniel Bryan that lasts around 4 hours. To complement 2K Showcase is a new take on My Career mode that sees 2K take a page out of the THQ playbook by crafting a story based around a created character working his way up to the top of the WWE ladder through some unconventional and at times cheesy means that comes across as a narrative in some ways better written than modern WWE. My Career's story can take a player at least 12 hours to finish, but most likely will last about 15 or more hours, considering the necessities to finish certain sections and the difficulty level. There is also the Returning Universe mode, a new implementation with 2K and My Player Towers, that acts similar to Mortal Kombat X's Towers mode, and a pair of online offerings. But nothing fills the completion quota better than 2K Showcase and My Career modes. Though one of the biggest promotional points attached to WWE 2K19 was the fact that they were making the game fun again, by adding new modes, gameplay options, and people to the roster, the gameplay itself is mostly the same from the last 4 iterations, featuring a more simulated style of wrestling unlike the arcade nature of the earlier SmackDown games during the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 eras. A majority of the implementations from the other WWE 2K games returns here, including the reversal meter, stamina meter, chain wrestling, the carry system, submission system, both the wheel and button mashing options, manual targeting, OMG moments, taunt buffs, and breakout options. Other than a majority of the animations being redone to make things a little faster when the bell sounds, and continuous striking not causing automatic reversals, the only new addition to the gameplay is the payback system. When a character is beaten down continuously, one of the 2 icons beside the health and stamina bars will fill, depending on the payback and overcharge abilities chosen by the player before the match. A character can pull off special attacks by holding the right bumper button and tapping the left bumper that can range from spewing poisonous green mist to calling for illegal interference, with some attacks such as the power of the punch causing disqualifications. Some payback and overcharge abilities are solely attached to My Player and the created wrestler made for My Career mode, which is a little disappointing considering those are some of the most absurd and entertaining payback abilities in the game. Like the gameplay, a majority of the stipulation matches that gained adjustments or modifications in 2K18 or before return in 2K19, There are very few new stipulation matches, other than the Wyatt Compound Arena, that is essentially a less interesting backstage brawl environment. Hell in a Cell this time feels claustrophobic, as the characters oddly move around the cage as if they're stuck in a small corridor. One of the biggest flaws from 2K18 was the return of 8-person matches for non-PS4 Pro and Xbox One X owners, as the game struggled with keeping a consistent frame rate compared to any other match featuring 6 or less wrestlers on the screen at one time. While the frame rate in 8-person matches is consistent this time around, the overall match speed is slowed down by half and ruins the reversal timing. Creation enthusiasts are in for a treat yet again. The creation of a wrestler is helped by one of the most robust facial transformation systems in a WWE game, as well as the return of importing a picture of someone's face to place on a generic call to almost instantly put that person in the game, and being able to download creations by others from across the globe. There are plenty of options in regards to clothing and hair, including the ability to stack shirts, pants, and dyeing hair without much changing from last year's iteration, including body shaping. The other creator modes are pretty much just like those in 2K18. Custom matches also return, but still lacks the ability to let someone's imagination run wild, like having a steel cage inside of Hell in a Cell. The only real new thing about creating in 2K19 is the ability to make a special money in the bank briefcase that can be assigned to any character and used in exhibition mode. Optimization when creating definitely needs improvement, and some of the limits on how much a player can do, including stacking clothes, is disappointing. Modes are what really make WWE 2K19 stand out. First, there's the new with Towers mode, spread across 2 sections while having the same structure in both areas. Like Mortal Kombat X, the player takes a character through a series of matches featuring various stipulations and modifiers, such as winning only by submission in a match sped up, with the intent of earning virtual currency to buy locked wrestlers, title belts, and arenas. Each tower has a specific difficulty, set amount of opponents, and changes frequently to keep things fresh. Towers in WWE 2K19 is an interesting concept, but lacks the absurdity of what Mortal Kombat's version provides. For the first time in 3 games, WWE 2K Showcase mode returns, focusing on the relatively memorable WWE career of Daniel Bryan. Not modifying the formula established years ago, 2K Showcase demands the player to complete certain match objectives, such as damaging a wrestler to a certain level before going for a pin, to initiate a cutscene that may or may not feature a QuickTime event. Those who got tired of 2K Showcase's limited structure won't find anything to praise here, other than the narration done by Bryan himself, adding a nice level of authenticity not seen in previous 2K Showcase offerings. That needs to be the norm going forward if 2K Showcase is utilized in the future. My Player is the overall banner for a Towers mode solely made for the My Player created wrestler, online competition for people who want to take their fledgling created wrestlers online, and My Career mode. The latter is what really shines, as for the first time since implementing the mode, My Career stays focused on a narrative that sees the player take a created wrestler, males only unfortunately, from indie wrestling darling to universal champion. The mostly voiced mode doesn't take itself too seriously, pays homage to the past, and creates one of the best narratives seen in a WWE game ever, without forcing the player to wander around backstage to have useless conversations, while the returning side quests boil down to fights backstage. Unfortunately, the action and busy work outside of the story is what hurts the overall My Career experience, and even My Player as a whole, thanks to the return of loot packs and a very grind-heavy skill tree. With each completed chapter of My Career, or during certain moments of the mode, the player is given another type of currency that can be used to purchase loot card packs that will unlock clothes, moves, performance additions including taunts and entrance options, and even boost, like having a stored finisher at the start of an online match or tower. Loot packs are very affordable and can only be purchased with the aforementioned in-game currency. Unfortunately, the luck of the draw can leave a player getting double items and stuff they don't want, with the only option of purchasing specifically locked creation items is by spending VC at outrageous prices. This is coupled by the fact WWE 2K19 uses the NBA 2K strategy of making the My Player created character a weakling at the very start, with a skill tree that is not only laborious in terms of seeing any type of progression, but is also attached to the overall ranking a player earns in My Player by participating in completing My Player towers or My Player online matches, meaning a gamer's My Player created character won't reach his maximum potential without doing some extensive work outside of My Career mode. For those who enjoyed the My Player structure from last year will feel right at home here, but others may be disappointed that by the end of My Career, their handcrafted character isn't up to a player's intentions. Universe mode, where the player can somewhat be Vince McMahon by making rivalries and running their respective brands, including their own created versions, has attained some nice fixes, including making it easier to manage superstars on the brands and their rivalries, but still feels like it's stuck in the same template presented almost a decade ago. The usual online modes are also available outside of My Player for those who simply want to play as a WWE superstar, but there is still that problem with laggy connections, not to mention the reversal timing being inconsistent from match to match. The graphics look just as good as last year's version, featuring great lighting, showcasing inconsistent character models, and animations that at times can be very stiff and robotic. Technically, the game is still problematic. Beyond the frame rate issues in 8-person matches are graphical glitches, moments when a player can't attack a downed opponent, and even weird warping of characters around the screen. One of the most egregious errors is attached to the commentary, as the team featuring Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves will ramble on about people not even involved in a match, and most frequently will call wrestlers outside of their gender. In regards to 2K Showcase and My Career, there is one glaring flaw connected to both: a lack of mid-match checkpoints. The lack of mid-match checkpoints will see a player having to go through an entire match or sequence if things don't go right, including glitches and crashes like what happened to me during an Iron Man match with Bobby Roode that saw the game crash right before my character won. For the first time since WWE 2K16, a WWE game feels like it's taken a large step in the right direction. While the gameplay itself hasn't evolved that much, and players who haven't enjoyed the change in style in regards to the bell-to-bell action won't be too happy yet again. The mode offerings and overall fun factor is reminiscent of the late-era PS2 games, where the franchise arguably hit a high point that hasn't been overcome. This is easily the best WWE game to be released since 2K14, but there's definitely a lot of room left for improvement. After several years of the WWE 2K games being showcases of ambition and potential being hindered by the engine, a lack of development time, and ideas not being executed very well, wrestling video game fans finally have a WWE game that is worthy of this generation, with plenty of modes, some modification to what's been around for years, and a refined My Career mode that is mostly fun from beginning to end. There are definite flaws with the game, including the grind to get a My Player wrestler up to snuff, creation option limits, certain items seen in last year's game being removed or unchanged for the better, and a gameplay system that has divided the fan base still being at the core of everything that happens. But for all the problems and issues associated with the game, this is easily the most satisfying WWE experience for 8th generation consoles for those who have enjoyed the gameplay from the past 4 WWE 2K games. If the gameplay style that started in WWE 2K15 isn't your forte, All the modes and improvements won't mean a thing in terms of this being the most electrifying WWE game in sports entertainment today.
Now that's having no regard for your body. Nicely done. She's absorbing some offense here. Here's what we're going to see what she's made of.
You know, she's the kind of competitor that actually likes getting hit.
He's going for the pin. And a kick out. Not even close on that one.
She's still in this one.
She got her with a reversal. She's starting to put moves together. Watch out!